In our experiment, most women chose one of these two guys here as their future husband. But when looking for a one-night stand, they tended to go for this guy here. And there's a good scientific reason for their choice. Why do you find these guys attractive?
I like the cheekbones and the jaw.
It's definitely like the strong jawline.
The stubble, the eyes, the jaw.
Yeah.
High cheekbones.
He's got a little bit darker eye. Women find these things attractive because they're all signs of high testosterone, which means that the man is healthy and strong.
Okay, Max, you are one handsome guy. Whoa.
Kids too.
I think they look good.
Women who tend to be with more attractive men happen to have more orgasms. Do women have more orgasms with richer men or poorer men? Well, it turns out the correlation here is even stronger than with attractive men.
Do women like home all through the year?
Yes. Yes, I do.
How do you bring girls home?
It doesn't happen very often, surprisingly. But I'll tell you what.
But you're so good looking.
Why have you been misled into believing that women are mostly attracted to aspects that you can learn, wear, or do?
Like, do looks really matter when it comes to the dating scene? Maybe you're just an average looking guy. That's okay with me. As long as you have an above average personality, then hey, I would love to go out with you.
That would be encouraging, except for the fact that she works for a dating company that professes to teach men how to be able to seduce attractive women regardless of their looks.
All right, now wouldn't you guys say that although looks don't matter, having looks is like, you know, it's like a nice bonus? No! The fuck? Okay? It doesn't do anything!
By the way, simulated micro-expressions such as fake smiling or uncontrolled micro-expressions such as raising an eyebrow are involuntary indicators that you're lying.
It doesn't do anything!
I would love to go out with you.
Beauty is not arbitrary. What's handsome is not arbitrary. All around the world, men and women find certain things attractive and other things less attractive.
Why is the cognitive blindness to what attracts women so widespread and accepted? Healthy attraction is driven by biological needs.
A woman's breasts clearly signal that she's past puberty and is probably able to reproduce.
Sexual dimorphism.
What differences there are between male and female faces. The female faces have a slightly smaller jaw. It's less squared than the male jaw, and they have thinner brows than these thicker brows that men have. Men have a more sort of square hairline.
And physical attractiveness. As a man, you're attracted to femininity, signs of youth and fertility, health indicators, and certain facial ratios. Your genes want you to find these traits attractive in a woman in order for you and her to produce the most healthiest offspring possible.
We all operate according to a genetic playbook. It tells us to couple with the hottest partner we can snag.
Similarly, women are attracted to masculinity, signs of youth and fertility, health indicators, and certain facial ratios. But you already knew that, right? The makeup and fashion industries are billion-dollar businesses. Women's biggest insecurities come from concerns about their visual appeal and physical traits. Women spend most of their time trying to look as physically and sexually appealing as possible. Yet you believe that when it comes to their attraction to men, they become blind to physical traits and only focus on a man's behavioral aspects?
It's 11:30.
It's 11:30. It's 11:30.
Diet Coke break. Diet Coke break. Diet Coke break.
Was it just a coincidence that this ad campaign, featuring a good-looking man with a good physique, was aimed specifically at women? Could the advertisers have used this guy? Before you say women make an effort to look beautiful because men are visual, whereas women aren't, the scientific research says you're wrong.
Men are right up front in placing attractiveness in their top three. Women place it lower on their scale. But in fact, when you evaluate women's behavior, it's no different than men. So women say attractiveness doesn't matter, but in fact, when you evaluate their behavior, it does.
Dating in the Dark is a dating show in which men and women have a series of dates in the dark to see how well they connect in terms of personality. Then comes the light reveal, in which they get to see each other and decide if they want to continue dating that person or walk away. What you'll find is that even when a woman likes a man's personality, she still wants his looks to live up to her standards.
Not like a bad looking guy. He's just not, the charming, good looks, dashing.
I usually date boys who are hot.
Do you feel this, chemistry?
That chemistry turned into shit when she saw his face.
My initial thought was he looks a cross between Bob the Builder and Shrek.
I honestly usually date men who are more attractive than Chris.
I have no idea if you can be attracted to someone without seeing what they look like. If they have this great personality, you're just gonna hope that they have that great looks to match.
It doesn't do anything!
I'm like, this guy looks like 40.
Wow.
He's kind of total, real scruff, chubby face. He had a gut. Could I see this person on top of me? Yes or no? No.
Really cute.
Okay, what does he look like?
He's got amazing eyes that are like a pop. Perfect bone structure. Anyways, he is really cute.
A post by Fred the Belgian on Hair Loss Talk, a site and forum for hair loss sufferers, said, "I'm sorry, but I think that hair accounts for maybe 5% of the equation when it comes to attraction. The truth is that a lot of times, girls don't even notice you're balding or even bald. That's right, other people don't think bald when they see you."
He had a receding hairline.
Oh, nice!
People leave the show realizing that
Looks totally matter to me, and I think they matter to the rest of the world too, and anybody who says differently is lying.
does it sound like women are indifferent to looks? How much do looks matter? Height, build, race, complexion, face, age, hair. Research by dating site OkCupid revealed that women considered 80% of men worse looking than medium attractiveness. This explains why average looking guys have to send tons of messages on dating sites in order to get dates, and why below average looking guys barely get any dates this way at all. But what happens when you make a fake profile using believable pictures of a male model or masculine hunk?
Hey, I bet you're not as funny as me, though I laugh at myself a lot. Jen.
That sounds like a challenge, Jen. Let's see if you're still able to tell jokes when I fit both your ass cheeks into the palm of one of my hands.
Ha, you will not. I guarantee it. I have too much ass. Ha.
Does money make a guy more attractive?
Based on his physical attractiveness, this man got a 4 out of 10 in the lab test. But give him an annual income of $245,000 and a high-status job.
I would say maybe an 8.
Okay, 7.
I'd probably do 6 or 7 because of money.
Does status make a guy more attractive?
How are you guys doing?
The pickup art community is entirely based on the belief that women are attracted to confidence, demonstration of alpha qualities, a good personality, dominant behavior, and good body language rather than looks, money, or status. Pickup gurus believe they know teachable techniques to make any guy attractive to almost any woman, but is pickup just a bunch of misapplied psychology?
We chase validation from people who break rapport with us. The idea of cat string theory and that we want what we can't have.
But if that person has no value to you, you won't chase their validation. Does pickup work?
Really, we like each other. When are we hooking up?
Never.
Does pickup art theory inappropriately assert causation where there was only correlation? I picked up a girl. It must have been my pickup skills that attracted her. A implies B. But when the next 50 girls reject you, you'll realize how inconsistent pickup art is, and you'll seek out more pickup art material. Most guys would prefer to live in the naive hope that they could have full control over their dating lives, rather than feel powerlessly aware of the truth. Are you ready for that truth? Are you ready to face what attracts women? Do you need good looks to snag an attractive woman? The answer is no. Look at this woman's facial expression on just being approached by a guy that she considers good looking. He hasn't used any attraction techniques, nor has he been particularly charismatic or said anything memorable or exceptional. After such a positive reaction based solely on his looks, how likely is this woman to make the setting up of a date hard for this guy? How likely is she to throw what's known in the pickup art community as shit tests, which is when, in an interaction, a woman puts a man down to test his masculinity and congruence? What do you think the phrase love at first sight suggests? It can't mean love, because the woman doesn't know what the man's personality, money, status and background are like, and the man can still turn her off with any one of those being unattractive. Love at first sight must mean attraction at first sight. How do you attract someone at first sight? Having status and being the center of attention. Your posture, physique, charisma, grooming and dress sense will help, but the biggest part of attracting someone at first sight are your looks. A man's looks even matter to you as a straight male. That's why when advertisers want you to buy their razors, they use guys that look like this.
Get closer to the one you love,
rather than guys that look like this. When you play a brave, masculine, alpha male soldier in a video game, he looks like this. And the weaker, less dominant guys look like this.
He seems to have it in for me. I'll see what I can do, Frank. Don't worry about it.
And get treated like this.
Ain't that yourself, Beans?
You will have positive assumptions and expectations about persons if they're good looking. And you will have positive assumptions and expectations about products if they're associated with good looking people. You will believe that the good looking guy uses this particular razor, which allows him to get a good looking wife. And that the masculine, good looking soldier has the balls to go to war and is respected by his colleagues. And you don't even want to date men. Imagine how females feel. Let's hear more from Dr. Frank L. Connor in his discussion on the psychology of love.
People who are artificially disfigured, and in fact, if we had somebody in this room right now, and I took a theater department and had them artificially disfigured, and they were sitting here, people wouldn't sit around them. People sitting on this experiment was done in New York, having people on a subway train, and they had like a big scar or something. People would not sit by them. We migrate towards attractive people. Now, what does that mean? Well, there is culturally attractive, some of these folks here. And they're popular because they're culturally attractive. In fact, we associate attractiveness with all positive qualities. We assume that attractive people are smarter. We assume that attractive people do better things for the world, that they get in trouble less. In fact, we assume that they are less promiscuous. In every study that's been done, it shows that we believe that ugly people actually have sex in an inappropriate way more than attractive people. So we attribute all good things to attractive people, which is why they're more successful, because they should be, right? Now, what does attractiveness mean, though? Because there is a cultural norm that you have a face that is symmetrical, that both sides are essentially the same. Big eyes, high cheekbones, small nose in proportion to your face. You have an attractive mouth.
You'll hear more from Connor later in the show. Eric von Markovic, who goes by the name Mystery, is a pickup guru whose popularity both inside and outside of the PUA or pickup art community reached its height in the mid-2000s. He's a wealthy businessman, owner of the pickup company Venusian Arts. In the late 2000s, he even had a VH1 TV show in which he taught so-called lovable losers how to become ladies' men via adopting a seductive personality using his seduction techniques. In his TV show, the pickup artist released, the first thing he changed about the contestants on the show was their appearance. The pickup art community believes that your outer appearance and grooming matter. Of course these matter, but the improvements that Mystery made to the appearance of some of these contestants were changes to their actual looks. Matt Radmanovich had the gap in his teeth filled.
Hi, Doctor. Nice to meet you. Mystery called. So I've got the space in my teeth.
Ryan Turner was given a tan.
How are you? Good. I'm gonna give you a 6-pack.
Greg Fellows' glasses were removed and replaced with contact lenses. Why were these changes made? These improvements to the contestants' looks were so that they could display more health characteristics. Just like masculinity, certain facial proportions and indicators of youth, indicators of health are attractive. Bad formation in teeth isn't attractive because it denotes bad bone formation and bad oral hygiene. Pale skin is seen by many as unhealthy looking and suggests that a person has conditions such as anemia. Glasses denote blindness, which is also a display of bad genes, unless you look like Clark Kent. And women want a guy with the best genes possible to give their offspring the best chance of survival. This may seem illogical. If a woman only wants a one-night stand with a guy, or isn't even thinking of having children with a guy yet, why would she care about a man's genes? It's because it's hardwired into her attraction switches. Women are genetically predisposed to seek out those genetics in a man that will give their offspring the best chance of survival. A child with bad bone formation, who has a blood-related disorder, or who is partially sighted is more vulnerable to attack, resulting in the possible weeding out of his genes. Neil Strauss is now a rich pickup guru in his own right. In 2005, he released a book about his experience living as a pickup student under Mystery's wing, traveling with Mystery, living in Mystery's mansion, and reportedly learning how to get better at seducing women. That book, The Game, would go on to be a bestseller and bring pickup into the mainstream. Mystery didn't think that Neil was ready to learn how to seduce women until he had improved his looks.
Is there a barbershop around here? Unfortunately, there was. Mystery sat me in a chair and told Margot to make sure the barber shaved down to the skull. Balding is not a choice, but bald is a choice.
Mystery was aware that an obviously balding man is unattractive, as it's a display of poor genetics. Later, we'll talk about exceptions to this, such as Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson. It's a sign of aging rather than a sign of youth and fertility. It also denotes the lack of control that a man has over his situation, and confident guys are in control. So the balding hair became fully bald, the nerdy glasses face furniture became contact lenses, the pale skin became tanned. But after an initial focus on looks, Mystery spent the rest of the boot camp teaching the pickup artist contestants about seduction techniques. But if you focus on improving your looks, is most of the work done for you by the woman? Why is the importance of improving your looks so downplayed when having good looks can make seducing a woman far easier?
Okay, Max, you are one handsome guy. Whoa. I don't normally like to fly, but I am changing my mind. Listen, we don't have much time, so we want to play, okay?
I'm ready.
I'm ready to play anytime too, Max, all right? The childhood prank known as a wet willy involves putting a wet finger in someone's what? Anywhere you want to put it, Max, all right?
Hi.
Hi.
I saw you from across the bar, and I think you're really beautiful. Can I buy you a drink?
I'm actually just here with my friend.
Okay. You guys have a good night.
I don't understand why every guy in the city is so effing creepy.
I know, like, no thanks, I don't want to get raped tonight.
Appletini for the lady.
How'd you know? That's my favorite.
I don't know, Lauren. I guess I just got lucky.
Have we met? Because I feel like I would remember you.
No. Although I am surprised you didn't wear your new red dress tonight.
What?
The red sundress you bought yesterday at American Apparel. You look really sexy in it. At least you did in the dressing room.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't wear it.
You want to get out of here? You really have no excuse because your period ended on Tuesday.
Would you kill me if I go?
I'll kill you if you don't go. God, he's like perfect.
Let's go.
I'm sorry. Did you guys see? Ah!